What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Pitch Podcast, where we give our opinions on pop culture, keep it real about our own personal journeys, and forever and always remain true to ourselves. With that being said, this is a safe space for you, but not your mess, because here at the Pitch, we are always respectfully with the shit. It's your boy, Jay.
Miss Phoenix.
Hey girl, Katie the Great.
Q.
It's your girl, Keith.
Who is it?
Girl, it's just your name.
Who? E. Kane, and you are now entering the Yes. We're going to keep it real just like that, you know.
Right.
Players mess
It
up.
is what it is. Little do y'all know, we've been trying to get this together for the last 15 minutes, but you know, it is what it
Maybe
is.
30, but whatever.
So,
See, I know Ashley Ryan Glass real. I can tell how quick she put it down.
I don't know who that is. We got a Miss Phoenix on the call, though.
Not my government name.
we got any announcements? We got any shout outs going on? What we got going on?
Shout out to the people that participated in our Mental Monday yesterday. Thank you.
Y'all did that. Y'all came through for us.
With the tips on your mental health and how you stay sane out here.
Y'all really motivated us. Well, me.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
You know what? It wasn't even a Mental Monday. It was Motivational Mondays. Thank you.
It was Motivational Monday. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about relationships. Relationships. One of E. Kane's favorite subjects. The rest of us, we do not be dabbling in the sharing of our interworkings. So this is going to be very interesting today for us. So to kick it off, who all watched Tina on HBO Max?
A little glimpse.
I watched it.
I haven't watched it.
What is it's giving you? How many?
Like I got maybe 10 minutes into it, and like I went to sleep. So I gotta rewatch.
But everybody really knows the backstory for the most part of Tina. But E.
Oh,
Kane,
no.
you want to kick it off about your opinions and your thoughts?
You know? I was tired.
Who kicking it out?
You, sis. You.
I mean, you know, I had already knew a little bit of a story from following her from after What's Love Got to Do. But when I say like I am more of a Tina stan after this, just seeing everything that she went through and like the way she spoke, I think my points that we talked about earlier was like, first of all, shout out to Angela for embodying her to the T. Like I was just watching this and hearing Tina speak, and I'm like, dang, is this Angela? Like, what is going on? Like she embodied her to the T.
Facts.
And just facing adversity and like pushing, like I don't know who is gonna keep on pushing till they about 50 and finally arrive when they're 50. And when I say she arrived. Yes. And just shout out to her. You know, it's no spoiler alerts, but she's living her best life right now.
Yes, shout out to Tina Turner. Talk about reclaiming your time and reclaiming your name, baby. That's the one, okay? But yeah, we don't want to give away any spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it. If you have not seen it, you need to watch it. It will give you a totally, you may already know her background, her history. You may know a little bit about Ike, his background, his history, but hearing it from her in just a very honest and pure way changed the game for me. Like I didn't know a lot of things that I thought I knew. But
and
yes,
the fact that every time they asked her about him, she didn't speak bad up on his name. She never said anything. She told that one story and her one story about dealing with the abuse. And it was like, okay, stop asking me. I don't want to talk about it no more. And anytime they asked after that, like, I hope he's doing well. I hope he's blessed. I hope, you know, I'm just speaking positivity over him. Like
my God today. God today.
Woo child.
So again, we're talking about relationships today. So we're gonna move and jump right into it. So I got question number 1 for everybody.
Not everybody take a sip.
Because it's about to be one of those. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna tell you, we friends, we cool, we A1, we bout it. But when it comes to our like personal relationships, unless something is really, really going on, we don't really be the type of friends to be like just spilling out everything about our relationship to.
In other words, this ain't grownish, okay?
It is very not that. It's not that at all. But your lips be okay. So, first question. How many formative relationships have you guys been in? And when I say formative, I mean, how many relationships were you in that were actually impactful throughout the remainder of your life, that actually meant something and you learned something from them? For me, 3.
We talking positive or negative impact?
Both.
2. It's 2 for me.
Okay.
I mean, the ones that I count 3. Let me explain.
Okay.
Yeah, I can explain a little later. Let's get the numbers out.
I would say 3.
Okay.
Okay.
This is the interesting number.
Listen,
Right.
but it's your life. It's your life.
I could say about 1, 2, maybe 0, but whatever.
Positive or negative impact.
Right.
Positive or negative. So
Right.
Positive or negative impact.
But if you'd have forgot them, hey, that's fine with me because I do that too.
Okay, so we all in about I think I'm the oldest of the group, but we all in about the 3 to 2 to 1 to 0. We all like in the same little same situation. Okay, next question. This is where you're gonna really have to start thinking about some things. Okay, it might bring up some triggering points. If you haven't watched it, I'm not trying to trigger nobody, but
Wendy Williams.
take your drinks now. Take your drinks now.
It's the book ass.
Okay. What made those relationships formative for you? Do you guys want me to start?
Define formative.
Formative. So whatever occurred in the relationship, whether how it began, what was happening in the middle, how it ended, impacted you to a degree that you moved differently after you got out of that relationship. Something about that relationship changed the way you move. So, if you just kind of casually courting somebody, they might come in your life, leave out of your life. In 2 years, your memory might not even let you remember that person even existed. But we're talking about somebody that really had an impact on you, like we said, positive or negative, that made you move differently in these streets.
Okay,
Am I starting? You want to start, Katie? Go ahead, Katie.
I need a teacher model. Somebody give me a teacher model. I need an example.
Okay, so I want to give you an example of a negative one.
Okay.
The negative one will be like someone who you were dating and things were going great, but then all of a sudden things turned left. And you and that person, or even you, it became toxic to you, to where you had to physically put your hands on that person. And so that's something negative that, that'll be like, okay, so now I know to keep myself away from that type of person. Because I see the red flags already.
Right.
That would be something,
Great example.
That would be my number 1 out of 3.
Okay.
I agree with the negative.
I would say I agree. I had a situation similar to that. Y'all already know, like I only have one person I consider an ex. And I feel like it got to that point of where I stepped
Give
out
them
of my
names.
character.
Give them nicknames because we gonna keep saying exes. Who we talking about? We're talking about the gingerbread man.
We ain't going there.
Yeah, that's right.
Everybody on here know who I'm talking about. Anyways, I feel like when it got to the point of where I had to step out of character and question myself and how I was reacting in the situation, similar situation to Katie, you know what I'm saying? Like, to where I had to pull up on you and I felt like I physically wanted to hurt you and I stepped out of my character and you took me to that place.
Right.
And that's when like, nah, this ain't even the person for me. Because if you
Mhm.
really was there, if you really was the person for me, you wouldn't even take me to that point to where I felt like I had to defend myself or I had to step out of my character in that way. Thank God for growth, you know. We
Amen.
can't be out here catching bodies or charges, you know, not behind no, nothing like that. Mm-mm.
Not behind no Negroes.
Mm.
Okay, like I said, I have three. So my first will be, I guess you would say, my only real relationship in high school. Obviously before I came out, but I knew what it was, whatever. This dude in Prentice, Mississippi. Like we dated for a good bit, but it was my first experience with like a relationship in general. And so for never having seen how we were supposed to be conducting ourselves in a relationship, because I had never seen any other gay men in relationships. So we didn't have like a model for like what to do outside of the wholeness that is the community. So we got in this relationship, you know, doing what we thought we needed to do or whatever. Wholeness was peak. And cheating was a thing. And you know, in high school, you just be ready to, you know, fight over anything. But somebody can drop a French fry on your forces and you ready to bang for your life. So right. So we you know, we had our little moments or whatever, but shit was really good too. Like I learned a lot about myself throughout that situation that kind of carried over after high school. It made me like, okay, I'm comfortable to like come out. I'm comfortable with being with someone in public because he was very that. Like he, you know, his school knew who he was and what he was about. His cousins was ride or die for him. We would go out in public and somebody would talk shit and they would be ready to bang for him. And that was not something I was used to. I was used to like, bitch, give me 6 feet. And this wasn't even Rona. So blah, 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 blah. The next relationship was the relationship I had before the one that I'm currently in now.
It's
Now
the ring for me.
No, that one was a lot. That one was a lot. I was 20 when we got together, and it was very fast. Like I was dating somebody when I met him, and then he gave me his number. We started chilling.
Not a cheater.
The next
Right.
week, no, I didn't do nothing. The next week, I broke up with the
What's
dude.
going on? What's
Let's
going
keep
on?
it together. Let's keep it real. The next week, I broke up with the dude.
It was that
I was like,
rebound.
it's not working.
Mhm.
I found somebody else. I mean, I was real about it. I was like, quiet as it's kept. I was ready to get out the situation. So when he had came in my life, I was like, boom, we're out, we're done. We're gonna start dating.
That was your
mean,
time.
It was my time. First time we hung out, it was like we was knocking boots for like 4 or 5 days straight off top. And then we were like, oh, I think we actually like each other. And then we dated for 6 years. Y'all probably don't know this. Q might, because he used to know I used to punch it to Brookhaven back in the day, in the middle of the night, for no reason.
Oh yeah, I remember.
So right when I got the Southern, we were still cool or whatever. But you know, that was honestly the first person that showed me what it was supposed to feel like to be in love with somebody and to be loved by somebody. I was unfamiliar with that feeling prior. Margar was mad high up just because of the world. And it took him like 2.5 years to break that hole down and never complained about breaking it down, ever, not once. He was just like, I feel like you don't know how to be loved. And then I'm here. And then he was there and consistently there, you know, moved in together, basically built a home together, engaged, the whole nines. But then, you know, I was getting ready to go to college and he had no desire to leave his town. And I, you know, some things had happened prior to that. I'm not gonna go into too much detail. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into too much detail. Some things that happened prior to me going to college that were really like, this is probably not gonna fucking work. And it didn't. It didn't end up working. We hated each other for several years after that, eventually became cool. And now we're in like a cool place. Like, I say every 10 months, he still like, because his mom has failing health. Every 10 months or so, he'll like reach out to get me updates on his mom because I was close with his mom. Like I was with him when both his grandparents died. Like we just had some real serious shit happen during our relationship that most people that young, I guess, wouldn't experience with somebody. So like we cool now, right? And
I got a sidebar question.
Here we go with the shits. Here we go.
For that.
Here we go.
No, it's not. It's just like the question.
Okay.
Good to you.
Okay, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. Well, actually, no. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, since that was your ex and y'all
Mhm.
went so much and y'all had this long-term relationship, how does not staying in contact, but I mean, clearly there is still some contact. How does that play into you married out here? So,
At first, girl, new man was not with the shits. Like what? Because he dislikes all pretty much of his exes. And I don't have that issue. I think I only dislike like one of my exes. The rest of my exes, like I said, the one was in high school. All the other ones, we were never that serious. So it's like when we see each other, you know, what's up with it? You know, no hard feelings.
But it's like that. It's like that extra step of contact because I'm him, and so I'm like, hold on, like, hey,
right,
hold on.
No, it was interesting, and the funny thing about it is the ex would always be like, "Oh, I can't wait to meet him." Like whatever, you know. I know he's treating you well. I can just tell, blah 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 blah. And I'm not gonna lie. At first, it was just kind of like he was like, "What the fuck? Why is he still loves you?" And that's a fucking problem for me. And I'm like,
I'm with him.
Right, everybody would be right, but I just didn't see. I was so removed, I guess, or so used to the way that ex acted with everybody he ever came in contact with. I mean, the lady at the grocery store checking him out, you know, spilling his guts to the person.
But the shoe was on the other foot, and let's say your husband.
Oh no, ma'am.
See, I'm saying, like,
no, ma'am. Trust me, it took some working through. And I talked to him and I was like, hey, my man does not really feel comfortable with, you know, the way you like to communicate with me, blah, blah, blah. He was like, okay, cool or whatever. But then was still like contact every now and then. And we just came to a place where it was kind of like understood that it was like nothing at all there. But it's literally just the fact of like, this person may be slightly damaged. A lot of damaged family members. So I just, you know, every now and then, like, you know, mom's still living, you know, that's nice or whatever. But it's never anything extra. But when you hear it out loud, it sounds real crazy because who keeps in contact with their exes, even though they are, you know, married?
I mean, I feel like if it's not any children involved, then there's no reason to, like, honestly, like, family and all, everybody is
right. I guess that speaks to maybe how formative or how much I valued that situation. Maybe that speaks to that. I don't really know. Like, I don't think it wouldn't be a problem for me. I don't think. But see, I say that. I would say it wouldn't be a problem for me if I never heard from him again. It wouldn't be a problem for me. But the gag is, he knows what my mom's work. They always communicate. Like him and my mom, when she sees him, she'll call me and tell me that she saw so and so. So I like, there is that. And then honestly, truthfully, I feel like I want somebody to tell me if his mom died. Like I want somebody to tell me that. Because then my immediate thought would be like, this boy may hurt himself for real.
Is she sick? Is the mom sick?
Very sick.
Oh, damn.
Like very, very terminally ill.
I can understand that. Yeah. Like,
it's not like she got the flu.
Right.
That's just crazy because my antenna's going off like, okay, what they got to do with you? That's not your problem no more. That's not your
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not to be
terminally ill.
But I'm not gonna lie and be like, I would not lie and be like, oh, I don't give a fuck. Because it's one thing to walk around in the world like, oh, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. But then you really do care and then you really do give a fuck.
I feel like it's okay to like reach out like, hey, I heard this happen, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, okay, if it got to that point to where he wants to do something and you have to leave your husband to try to go and like console this person.
No, I wouldn't do that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was getting at. Like, it feel like it's taking it like to an extra step. Like,
no, I wouldn't like leave to go console because he got hoes for that. Like, that's not what I would do. I would just, like to, where do I sit in the bouquet? Where do I sit in the flowers? Like, how are you actually? Like, what's actually going on with you? Do I need to fucking, call somebody to be like, hey, can we go check on him? Can we get somebody to go to his house and make sure this nigga is well and alive? And then obviously the next relationship with my husband. Obviously Formative because my fucking husband. So there's really nothing else to discuss there. I mean, he came into my life at a time where I really wasn't looking for anything or anybody. And I met him, and a year later I was living in North Dakota. So obviously
don't be the ones. You be on minding your business, living your
business. Baby. And they hit you up on damn Snapchat. You better mind of your business.
It was Grindr, but it was a Grindr situation. No shade, no tea, ain't a shame, honey. He was looking. Looking for. I was scrolling for what I was looking for, honey. The military uniform. I was like, it was giving.
Not a man uniform.
Okay, it was giving, and then the rest of it was an interesting story that we had, but. Here we are now, it's good. It's really, really good. So those are my formative relationships. Let's get off me for a second. Do you want to ask your question now? Oh, you already asked it.
That was my question.
That was your question.
How does it affect?
Yeah. Right. Okay. He don't care for it. He don't like it. He don't be liking it. But I be having to keep it honest. I just be having to keep it honest because it would be real shady to be like, well, fuck him. I don't really care about him. And then him call me and me downstairs in the fucking coat closet. Where's your mom? Like, no, we're not doing that over here. It's the honesty and the openness.
Open
because
and honest.
For me, when you marry I can't speak for every married couple in this community. Gay marriage, that should be seeming like, bitch, what's really going on? Because, two men, we be seeing other men, like, that boy's cute, like, the common.
It's a little hard because you can't. Like, you can get away as a married woman, married to a man and talking to your friend girl or something like that. I get what you're saying.
Exactly. So, everything comes off as whorish. Everything comes off as like a potential, cheating type situation. So with all that.
Okay, let's take a pause. Okay, Q. Tell us about your 2 to 3.
You said Q. Let's get into you.
Come on.
Most ever said 3.
No, I was just, acting out what I would do if I was in a community, That's what I would do. Okay, I would mean no harm. I would befriend you like now, but I would just open my door every day when I saw you and just call you a slut just for no reason. I mean, that's just the type of neighbor I am, I'm gonna let you know it's coming.
Okay, the question is still on the table. So Q.
The question is still on the table. Yeah, tell us about these formative relationships, Q.
Well, the first one taught me to never have to compete. In other words, my grandmama, she taught me a saying. She said,
we're giving nicknames.
What's this wet dog?
Who is this ex? Who is
wet
this
dog?
Ex?
No, this is not wet dog. This is
I know exactly who you're talking about. Lloyd.
Who is this?
Not wet dog. This is
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Q.
I mean, you can say her name. She didn't. No. She married now.
She married and like 300 pounds overweight now. We ain't gonna even do it. Come on, Q.
I did not even know that, but
I didn't know that either. But
wait, are we talking about this is wet dog, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about your question.
Well, I just want to say, I hope her parents made it through this pandemic. If they did not, may they rest wherever they are laying.
Dang.
But yeah. On to the first relationship, I guess, that taught me something. Mm-hmm. What did it teach me? Mm-hmm. We're gonna call this relationship
relationship Z, or is it gonna be relationship?
Wow,
It
so
gotta be
specific.
before Z.
Wow, so specific. We're gonna call this relationship hometown. All right, so
Okay.
hometown,
Oh,
Like I just said.
right? Hometown taught me
mhm.
to actually taught me about gaslighting because I was
That's
gaslit
important.
at one point during the relationship because it was, oh, if you don't, stop whatever you're doing this weekend and come up here, then I don't know what might happen.
I'm making those kind of demands, girl. Bye.
Somebody type the name in the chat for me because sis is lost over here. But continue.
Sis,
Okay, but let him finish. Let him finish.
Y'all
are
don't like to
not
put a
lost.
face with the situation.
and it was
Definitely
always
said hometown. But go ahead.
yeah, I said hometown. So yeah, it was those type of situations and situations where I just remember conversations of, oh, you can't make it here. Like I would say I can't make it somewhere. And it was always, oh, but I've done this, and this, like keeping a list almost.
Being a
And
hypocrite.
I'm shit. And that's another part of it.
And that wasn't even the girl values. But go
I
ahead.
forgot the term of it when
Hey,
someone
is like, bitch, I got the
you.
facts. If you want me to tell it, I can tell it.
Okay, so I forgot the term of when somebody is gaslighting you, but you still want to defend them. That's the way I feel. And that
You had Stockholm syndrome.
I probably so because I don't think I ever really voiced that. This is my first time saying that. Because when I try to, like when I say I was gaslit and all of that, towards the end of the relationship, actually admitting that kind of makes me feel vulnerable, not even vulnerable, but also embarrassed because it's like, better. But you fall for it and then you start second guessing yourself. And, I'm gonna be just real. I'm gonna be honest. Like you get on their social media and you look and you see where they're tagged, who tagged them, and the people they hanging around. And so then, you start looking at yourself and you question yourself, like, okay, what is it with me? What do I need to change
Nothing.
in order to be better? So yeah, that is my first time admitting that, and I'm admitting that shit on camera.
That's the most you have talked about a relationship. Continue. Relationship number 2. Get into it.
Let's
I'm
see.
so proud of you.
Because we don't do this.
We
We don't be doing this.
And I will also say with that relationship, it's kind of like you can see the red flags, and that's why I don't get quiet when people talk about red flags because I know what it's like to see all of the red flags, and yet you purposely ignore them. And I will have to admit, I'm man enough to admit that I could be willfully ignorant when it comes to that relationship because I will ignore every red flag just because it feels good.
How old were you?
I think from 17 to maybe 20.
Oh, I know who he's talking about now.
Right.
I told you.
17 to like 23, maybe.
Right. Because I remember when you...
I even gave you a lip.
I remember when you got to Southern.
Mhm.
There was a lot of like,
Damn.
this person, this situation, I gotta go here. I can't do this because of this and all of this. And at that time, I was, fresh out of relationship number 2. We'll call him Gingerbread Man as well. It's factual. So, I was in a mind state of like, fuck that beat. Like, like Not got you driving from here to there.
Even during the relationship, fuck that bitch.
Now she was in my whoa. So you was in my city and you ain't tell me nothing freshman year.
Who, me?
We're gonna come back to that. Continue.
Right.
Exactly.
What about relationship number 2? What was relationship number 2 for you?
Oh God. Okay, let's see. Relationship number 2 started off as a one night stand. And
I think.
Is this Leprechaun?
Leprechaun. No, this isn't Leprechaun.
I hope not.
Okay.
This isn't Leprechaun.
Leprechaun though.
Maybe she's number 3. I'm trying.
I'm getting to Leprechaun. Leprechaun is number 3.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, this one I always vowed to never. How shall I put it? Never reveal any intimate details, like almost like a promise. With that,
this wet dog.
Was this tea?
No, this is not a wet dog.
A wet dog didn't even make the list, and she was causing all these problems. But continue.
But was it?
No.
What is
She
it?
caused these problems.
What is it? Tea?
No.
What is it? Tea?
That's Leprechaun.
It's not.
It's not Leprechaun. Leprechaun is next.
Right.
Oh, I thought you were saying the name. I thought you said the first letter.
Is it tea? Go ahead. Tell your story.
I would say this one taught me like a one night stand. I would say don't be so quick to ghost someone, because what I learned from that situation was it can grow into something great, and it can actually leave you. It can leave you so many things. It can leave you confused. It can leave you wanting more. It can leave you in tears. It's like true love. Like the first one I talked about, that was love. I can honestly say that was love. The second one, the one night stand that turned into something else, we're gonna call that one. We're gonna call that one transfer student.
Okay.
So yeah, transfer student.
That's the name.
Really opened my eyes to, I guess, what love really was, because that's when I saw that love was actually selfless. Because when transfer student transferred, it was like instant heartbreak.
Okay.
What else?
Quick pause. Quick pause. I just want people to understand. Like when Steve Harvey had all these girls waiting 90 days, waiting 120 days, waiting 196 days.
No.
All of these things. Sometimes it be the motherfucker that you busted open for night 1, honey.
Yes.
And then next thing you know, girl. Yes. Not everybody, but I'm just saying, don't be so eager to jump in and be like, let your feelings, let your emotions, let what your intuition and your heart is telling you, let that shit flow, baby. Go, baby.
That's
as a woman, I ain't gonna co-sign to that. But you.
That was actually a running joke, like the whole, marriage thing. Because we actually even talked about that, like just getting married for 3 months and then getting an annulment if we don't like it. It just went on.
Be married.
And
Go.
so yeah, right, Kim Kardashian.
It's Britney.
Also, I would guess the biggest thing that relationship 2 taught me with transfer student was if you want to be with somebody, it's almost like a two-way street. You can only go so far down your street. Like you can't go all the way down and meet them where they're at. they have to come down their street and meet you in the middle.
That's interesting. Say that one more time.
A relationship is like a two-way street. You can go down your side of the street only so far. But because if you go so far, once you look up, you'll be right where they're standing, where they've been standing the whole time.
They ain't gave nothing.
Right, exactly. So you make it halfway down your street, you got to look around. Hard stop. Once you make it to the middle of your street, hard stop and look around. Because if they not meeting you on the other side, on their street, hey, it's a hang up somewhere. It's the red flag somewhere. Don't be willfully ignorant, because that's to a lot of people. Like, because that's to me. Because I will see a red flag, be willfully ignorant just because.
Oh,
and that really, I'm so glad you said that. The reason we keep stopping on Q, because Q don't be fucking talking to us. So we got to get up in the mix. Like, I'm so glad you said that, because I be knowing so many people that be doing the absolute most for somebody that has not even deemed them in a relationship.
You better be holding the mirror up over there.
Somebody.
But we'll get to that. Come
on. You will be doing the utmost for somebody, and that person won't even consider you. They consider you a friend. They consider you like, well, if he gonna do it or if she gonna do it, I'm just gonna let them fucking do it. Like, why would I stop them from doing it? And you really have to take yourself back, take yourself out of the situation. I'm good for this. Taking myself out of the situation, looking from above down, and being like, okay. You don't want to be one of those type of people, because people will guilt trip the shit out of you. You don't want to be one of those type of people that be like, well, I'm not counting what I'm doing for them. I'm just doing it because I want to. Yeah, that's cool or whatever. You just doing it because you want to. But if that person's not doing anything for you and you feel some type of way about that, you're not doing it just because you want to. You are doing it because you expect something in return. So when you realize that you're not getting that, baby, like, specifically dudes, I be knowing so many dudes, they be doing the most, and then when I be like, I don't think she not feeling you like that. Like, I'm not, everything you telling me is what you did, what you doing, and nothing is coming back to you. I also know females, like, girl, now he got mad at you because you didn't respond to his text at 2 a.m. Girl, it's 2 fucking a.m. Do he respond to your text all the time right then? Okay, then. So why did you take on this expectation, but then you don't expect that from the person? We got to stop with that foolishness. But go ahead.
Because you're right. Like I was saying, being willfully ignorant with that is just like you said. You will wait, huh?
No, I was just saying, but some people fall in love with potential. It's like, okay, I can deal with this for them, and then we can have this conversation, and I can try to change. Maybe they will do this. Maybe they will do that, or maybe it's like that potential of that person that could be, instead of paying attention to what is right in front of you.
Right. Absolutely. You cannot be falling in love with potential. You have to be you can fall in love with, like, what's the word for it? Like, let's say somebody wants to be something, but they're not that thing, but they're making the steps to do. You can fall in love with, like, the aspiration someone has. Right. You can fall in love with the grind and the hustle that someone has. They're trying to get to the thing they want. Honey, falling in love with somebody that want to be, a pop star, it ain't never sang, ain't never been on nobody's stage, ain't trying to get on nobody's stage, but they want to be, I don't know, Ariana Grande. Like, where is the work? You just falling. Yeah. She hate a Brandy. You date somebody that want to be a Brandy, but I don't know, got the vocals of somebody that's not a Brandy, or have no vocals at all, or just no aspirations to do the work. Falling in love with the potential is for the birds, because you looking at it with your rose-colored glasses. Right. That nigga is fine. That would it be? She fine. She bad. Her breast sitting up right. The ass is right.
Mm-hmm. That's what you're gonna go.
But what more is it? Like, you looking at me on my outer appearance, but what more is it to you? Like, are you going to be able to, if I fall, are you going to be able to, pick me up when I fall? Are you going to be there when I fall? Like, it's so much to this whole relationship thing that, I haven't grasped the whole thing, because clearly I'm not in a relationship. But it's the whole thing of, you want me to do for you, but you can't do for me. And that's going to get number 2 for me when I talk about my situation.
Or you can't do for yourself.
Exact. Or you can't do
or you can't
yourself.
Your fucking self.
You always looking for me to do it, but you can't do it yourself. I don't.
I've never been in one of those type of situations, so I'm just speaking from the outside. Because,
honey, I have been in one of those, and it's just like, it's draining. It's very draining. It has gotten me to the point now to where it's just like, I'm going to deal with, the person that I'm dealing with. We're going to be, partners or whatever the case may be. But the whole, I guess, name calling, oh, that's my girlfriend, that's my fiance, that's my da-da-da-da-da. We don't have to do all of that. We don't have to get into a name calling situation. As long as you respect me, I respect you, and we know boundaries.
We don't have to do titles. Let's just be the people.
We don't have to label this thing.
We can just do the people. Not the control again, Q. Go ahead, E.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm trying to figure out when as a generation or when as a people did we decide to skip over that friendship phase. Because it's like, oh, I want to jump right into this bond and right into this relationship. But it's like, dang, do you even know the person that you're getting into this relationship with? Where's the friendship? Where's the
history? When that happened?
Like, why are we skipping over this step?
Absolutely. Like, my best friend
I feel like that occurred because, in junior high, maybe even in high school, you meet somebody and they fine, so you date them.
Not I.
Some people.
You could be the finest, and I'm still trying to figure out, like, okay, what you either fine and dumb or.
But let me tell you, girl, that's a rarity boots. And then we moved into social media, girl, where everything. But I just feel like some people need to start checking your friend zones. These people that you tossing in the friend zone, these people that you feeling like, oh, they don't necessarily have what's on your list. You might be missing out on your blessing at the end of the day. Like, this is somebody that has been there. Y'all haven't had that. She's speaking from experience.
I am speaking from experience, but I'm just saying, like,
when the truth.
Throwing friendship out the window in history, like, I don't understand it for it. Like,
absolutely.
You're going in with these expectations that these people have never shown you. So, like, when they don't meet those expectations, how can you be mad at them? Like, they never showed you this. They never showed
definitely. You should be mad at yourself.
So, exactly. How can you?
Okay, Q, number 3. Let's move on to number 3, Q.
Okay, let's be clear. The biggest lesson I learned from number 3 was always have a parachute package. And I got that term from the game. Shout out to Tasha Mack. But yeah, always have a parachute package because
not Tasha Mack.
I'm gonna call. We might as well say Leprechaun. Leprechaun had a parachute package between me and my middle school best friend's oldest brother. Not gonna call any names. If you can map it together, just map it together. But yeah, I guess she had 2 rainbows. She had gold at end of 2 rainbows, and I found out about one of the rainbows. Shout out to Kim for the Instagram investigation. Appreciate you. But again, I would say my fatal flaw, the potential, because I went back even after Kim told me what it was. And I did it in secret for a minute. And then I was like, okay, well, fuck it, because they probably already know, blah, blah, blah.
That's why I'm going to the justice field now, but go ahead.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that's the thing. It's not just women who will go back into a situation knowing that there's a red flag. Men also do that too. And I'm man enough to say that right here, right now. Yeah, I've seen red flags in all 3 of those relationships, but I still wanted what I wanted. I didn't care about those red flags because I wanted to be willfully ignorant. And that is one of the most dangerous things to be. Do not be willfully ignorant.
Can we give a round of applause, y'all? I am so proud of Q. Like, I am beyond. Like, can we just do can we do a snap or something? Can we just, baby? I'm proud of you, Q. I really am.
Feelings and putting us in your business.
We're gonna skip on over. We're gonna let Miss Phoenix.
Honey, let's keep us short and sweet. 3. Let's do short and sweet. So the first one would be in high school, 9th grade. That relationship actually helped me build a backbone. It's just like when I say things in a relationship, like I need you to respect those things. And as Q stated before, like a relationship is not a two-way street. So it was good in the beginning, but then as the disrespect grew, it was more so like, okay, either you're gonna have a backbone or you're gonna accept this, because what you allow is what you accept. And finally, I got out of that relationship. So that's how that ended, and I learned to always speak up for myself in that relationship. Amen. My second relationship that I would count would be a
Miss Phoenix?
I don't know. But
your Wi-Fi is hating. Your Wi-Fi is hating on you.
You're
Can you
frozen.
repeat that? Repeat the second one. I feel like you said Jones. The girl, not Jones.
I thought I said
girlfriends.
No, Jones Community College.
Oh.
Oh, nah. Maybe.
And
Oh,
wasn't
did we
gonna go
lose her?
on
Did we lose Miss Phoenix? I think we lost Miss Phoenix. So what we're gonna do? Oh.
Miss Phoenix, are you in?
Let's go to Katie the Great and her 0, but she
Let's
gonna
go to
tell us about something.
Girl.
I'm gonna text her and tell her.
Let's preface it. Yeah, text her and tell her to leave and then come back in. We can move on to KD. I'm just gonna preface this with, girls, if y'all watching, girls, sorry for it.
Are we sorry?
Oh, there we go. There go Miss Phoenix. She is back. Miss Phoenix,
okay.
Please turn on your mic.
Oh, not past the mic. I don't know.
No, my internet switched over. Okay. My internet switched over. So the second relationship was the gentleman I met in the military. You know how you're going through the talking stage, and when I was at tech school, I found out he was talking to another individual, so we kind of stopped talking after that. However, we reconnected when I went to college and dated an entire year. And that's the first relationship and only relationship that I would admit, like coming from my first serious relationship where the guy was always messing up. It was I, in fact, who was messing up in the second relationship because it was just like I wasn't respecting his time. So the second relationship taught me that when the roles are reversed, when someone is on you instead of you being on that person, like it causes you to step up. And I was just like, okay, this is me having a mirror on myself and, you know, changing things about you that may not work in a relationship. So you have to learn how to work in a relationship. And it's just like from that first relationship, I had become so independent and doing everything myself, having low expectations of my partner that when you actually had a partner that would do those things, you don't know what to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the second relationship.
He's so real, but he playing.
Yeah.
I love you.
The third relationship.
I love you.
Girl, Kim, I know you know who I'm talking about, but it is what it is. The third relationship, honey. The third relationship was the longest relationship I've ever been in, which I don't even want to call it a relationship. However, what I would say about that is that when we use the term ignorant, honey, I was ignorant in this relationship. And that relationship taught me that I will never trade my respect for love, because love can make you do strange things. It can make you do things that are against your values, your morals. And you give so much to one person and you don't realize that that person is draining you. And that person drained me for 5 years, not to just put it on that person, but it was just like, you have to learn how to respect yourself and move like that.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Katie, are we
She said,
getting
is she-
zero, girl? Are we
She
doing
said
zero?
she
With
been
my
putting
zero.
input in this whole time.
I've been putting my input in the whole time, you know,
She
because
has.
you know, it is what it is. Cause say what
So
it
we're
is.
not gonna talk about well, you know what?
What's your next question on your list? How about that?
What I will
Right.
talk about is okay. So my first one.
We're not gonna talk about Pokemon.
Didn't she show up everywhere?
The one that used to just pop up out the ground.
Was that even a relationship?
It wasn't. She thought it was.
She was in a relationship with Kim.
Popping up at my house.
Her
I know
mom-
she here.
Is we talking about the same
Oh
from high school?
no, this is college freshman
Oh.
year.
Did she go to sleep?
No, definitely not.
You had two stalkers?
Oh, that Pokemon.
That was the
Yeah.
other one I'm talking about.
No, I know who you talking about. I do know who you talking about. But honestly, she was like, that's my number one that I did take from for like being if I could go back and change everything, I would with that one. But unfortunately, she is now married. Congratulations.
Oh,
Beautiful family. That's my
Congratulations, Trico. She better
That's
be
my
married.
homie though. Like honestly, that is my homie. Like she really is.
Grass type, honey. Stay popping out of the bush.
oh.
She had, you know, she now that is one of the ones that has showed me. She's really showed me like what it is and what it ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like as far as like if I wanted it, if she wanted
I like
it, we both
Chikorita.
did for each other. It wasn't like a one-way thing. So that I took from that one, it was very positive. It was very, very, very positive.
Yeah, I love Chikorita. She was cool.
I am done.
Not Chikorita.
I love Chikorita.
Next question.
Okay, I feel like we've
Yeah,
been
next
answering
question because I
this.
don't want to get to the other one. Come on.
We've been answering this as we've gone along. The next question was, what about these formative relationships? What did we gain from them? What information did we learn from these relationships that helped us move forward into our current relationships or affected how we approach relationships if we're not currently in one? I think we've kind of answered that here and there as we go. I guess for me, being very general and quick about it, first relationship, I learned who I was as a gay boy at the time. Like I learned what that meant to me. And I realized at that point that that was not something that I wanted to continue to just kind of sacrifice just to fit in with straight culture. Like I realized that during that relationship, that was the most important thing because he was so comfortable in his life with his people. I mean, his family, that's a different situation. When we were out, he was so comfortable. I wanted to be that. That's what I learned from that. Second relationship, honestly, truly, like what caring for someone and what love is supposed to feel like when you've grown up in situations where you haven't had examples of that. We can get into like the examples of love that we saw. That's a whole nother episode. The example of relationships from our like parentals, grandparents, uncles, aunts, that's a whole nother conversation because at least for me, all that shit was mad unhealthy. Looking back on it, like those relationships was mad unhealthy. His family relationships were mad unhealthy, but he knew how he wanted to treat someone and he treated me like that. So I learned that from him. And that really pushed me into my current situation. Like, and I'm still working on that. Let me not say current, not situation, you know, it's a situation.
He's married, ladies
Like,
gentlemen.
and I'm still growing and I'm still learning and we're still figuring it out. We still have conversations about this. It wasn't like boom, married and like bliss for the rest of my life. Like, this is still very much, we got to actively work on these things. I know I'm the type of person that's like, I'm always feeling like I'm giving you what you need to know how to respond to me. And that is not always the case. Sometimes that should be all up in my head. Like, I think I'm giving you what you need to know how to interact with me. So then when you don't interact with me, like the vision that I've created in my head, I'm on fucking 10. Like, what you mean you don't know what's going on? Like, when I did that thing, that was a signal that this is what I wanted.
Because ain't nobody a mind reader. You haven't vocalized
exactly
what you want.
Exactly. Okay. Ain't nobody over here fucking, I don't know, Professor X, bitch, say to me what you need and what you want. I'll still be working through that, because sometimes I really get in my head about that, because I'll be sitting and thinking and be like, well, if I was the other person and you did this is how I can't do that. That's a whole,
but you can't do that.
That man is his own, right. That man is his own man.
Absolutely.
That man is his own man. So that's a work in progress for me, literally daily, because the bitch be crazy over here sometimes. But I do love him though. That's the thing. Like, I love him. So no matter what the fuck is going on, that won't change. And I know that for me, that won't change. Like, I thoroughly enjoy him. So no matter what the fuck is happening that seems like real iffy, real wavy, real sketchy sometimes, it just be like, nah, go check yourself. Because it could be you. Like, go check yourself. It could be you. And I learned that with him, because he doesn't like confrontation. He doesn't like to argue.
And very mad.
And I'm an arguing hoe. Like, I be liking like with the second ex, we would bang. But see, at the time, that shit would get me like, oh, he love me. like, on some toxic shit. Like, we would square up, but then right after, bust it down. So for me, that was like, yeah, this is right. This be right. But he don't like confrontation. He don't like to fight. He don't like to argue. None of that. He want to hear what you actually have to say, if it means something. If you're just yelling, saying a bunch of shit that don't mean anything, he will just tune you out and not really pay attention to what you're saying. And there's nothing worse than to not say nothing or argue back with an arguing ass bitch. There is nothing worse than you sitting there quiet with an arguing ass hoe.
Baby, you right. Oh, the fuck?
Right, so you don't feel nothing? You don't love me? Like it be giving all that type of energy. So, like, I've learned those things from those relationships, and I'm still learning in my current relationship.
Absolutely.
And honestly, I don't want to stop learning in my current relationship, because I don't want to get stagnant.
Absolutely.
There's shit I don't know about him. There's shit he don't know about me, and we still figuring that shit out.
Also, you're constantly changing. You're not gonna be the same person that you was at the beginning of your marriage. You're not gonna be the same person 10 years from now, 20 years from now. So
exactly, and that's something I'm having to, really appreciate, because like I say, my parents, I be looking at them sometimes, and for me, I feel like I know what my answer would be. I don't know what's going on. They've been through a lot together. It's been like 50 years, damn near. I'm exaggerating, maybe like 43. It's been a long time. So I don't really know what that really is about. I just know what I see. And I'm like, oh girl, not talk to me like that. No ma'am. Where's the divorce papers? But, and then, it'd be like, that's me in my head, but I don't really know what they're feeling, what they've been through. I can only, express how I feel about it. And I have to keep checking myself so I don't get into a situation where, I'm not expressing myself and I'm building up all this anger, all this hurt, all this tension. And I'm not, how are we going to fix it if he don't know? That's fucking dumb. He don't fucking know.
Absolutely.
If I'm craving grits and eggs, I don't say that shit. So when I receive a salad and I'm fucking on 10, he don't know why I'm on 10. Because I never said that I wanted the grits with the eggs, cheese on top. Don't cook the cheese in my eggs. Like, I didn't say that.
Vocal. Do not be afraid to be vocal in your relationship.
Yeah, so I'm still learning. But who next? Which you got, E. Kane? Because I feel like Miss E. Kane over here, honey. Y'all, Miss E. Kane over here is giving real housewives of fucking wherever she's living. Where you living, girl?
Ain't nothing about me, housewife.
It's giving very real housewife. It's giving very much
still working.
I met him when I was 7 and we, drifted apart. And then I met him again when I was 20 and I just knew he was the one. It's giving very and I live for it, honestly, because the Black love is real over there in them streets. So tell us what's going on, sis. Tell us what's been formative. What did you learn? What you're learning now? What's tea?
I mean, just in my first relationship, I feel like number one, like I don't feel like I've changed in either one of my relationships because my examples came from like those family members and my parents and all of that. Like I saw what it was, and I knew that I didn't want that. So I always, wanted the opposite, and I knew to get the opposite. Like I just had to walk my own path. And I feel like I give so much of myself, in relationships. But that first one, it was like, okay, if this person gonna bring you out your character and take you to this point, to where you are willing to risk your freedom and everything, then you just gotta cut that off. Which I knew that it was a high school relationship. It started in high school. We had drama, red flags. Y'all know, like everything was going on, even in high school. Like people, it wasn't no reason for us to be together. I don't even know why we was together. Mm-hmm. But just that young, very first relationship. And then for me, I took a major break. I think I was single for about 4 or 5 years before Maury came in the picture, which he came in the picture after that relationship ended, and we were friends first. Then he ghosted me and came to Oklahoma. I'm looking over here because he's sitting right here. Like both of our paths, went separate. He started his own little separate life. I had my own life back in Mississippi in college and all that. And I mean, I like to say like we both experienced loss of relationships, which brought us back together. So, I don't know. Like I'm still learning. Like marriage is marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like marriage can be healthy. It can be fun, like you can enjoy. I feel like there's so many negative connotations around like Black marriages and all of that, and I think it's based off our history, but it's what you make of it. Like, and I think what I'm learning now in my marriage is number one, like I'm very like chill now. Like I still pop off, but I don't pop off as much because he don't let me pop off. He can like put you in your place, but why are you making this face? Like what I'm saying? What, babe? Because he has a way of like putting me in my place, but not like degrading me or talking down on me to put me in my place. It's like more so of like checking and holding me accountable, and pushing me in a man in a healthy space, but an uncomfortable space for me because I'm used to like, being very outspoken and
I love that
saying what I want to say when I want to say it.
Erica.
Should I disclose?
And also like he pushes me to communicate because my nature is to hold stuff in and like keep stuff
down.
And shut
down. Is
that
a Gemini thing, girl? Because we both Geminis, and I be feeling like
it's a Libra thing too.
I'll be sitting on something deep in my heart and don't be saying nothing, but then expecting something from the world.
But I don't even know if I'll be expecting nothing. I'll be like, okay, you know what? It's not that. It shouldn't be that deep. So let me check myself before.
Because I just be a thinker. I just be liking to sit and think to myself, and I be needing to express that shit. But I really do like no shit. I be living for y'all relationship. Like living for y'all relationship. Just because. I mean, I guess full disclosure, girl, last Black man I dated was in junior college. And the first one was in high school. And then ever since then, girl, she's been international with her things.
Because Because that's my thing that I would want to ask everybody. Well, not the married. Well, I will ask it to y'all as well. That's something that me and my best friend we talk about a lot. Is why is marriage or being married is so important? Because I feel like, it's not important to me, because I feel like if we have a bond, we understand each other, we, are able to be faithful to each other without that whole, I guess, getting in front of the people and, getting the rings and everything. I feel like, that's something that is not needed in my situation. But I don't know about everybody else. That's something that I did want to ask everyone in here, as far as why is being married so important to.
I think
You want to go ahead, E?
I think from my perspective is
Married.
being married, it puts that extra. I don't know, when you think about a business, it's more so like a business. It's like you're spending this much time with this person, you're putting this all into this relationship. But when it came down to it, if something was to happen to either one of us without that documentation, without that legal papers, I can't say nothing over more. I can't do nothing because I'm not the next of kin. Yes, we've had this long-term relationship. I said unless you start going into like common law marriage and all that kind of stuff. But when you think about that piece of it, it's like,
I'm glad you took it in that direction, because I was going to take it in the exact same direction.
You want to be able to say, like, this is my husband. I can prove that this is my husband. I get to say what's going to happen. Like, ain't no family member finna come in and do it. And then vice versa for him with me. You know what I'm saying? If something was to happen to me, and like, let's say I have my money in my bank accounts and things like that, if we did not have that, then he wouldn't be able to say anything. He wouldn't have power of attorney or anything like that. It would be next of kin. And I ain't trying to put that in nobody else's hands. Like, I'm putting this with the person that I'm spending the rest of my life with, who knows me, who I've talked about these things with, who knows what I want. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Shout out, Maury. I was gonna take it in the exact same direction. Like, I feel what you're saying, and if you don't need to go to that step, don't go to that step. If you don't feel comfortable going to that step, don't go to that step. Now, you may sit on it for a couple of years. Maybe you with somebody for 7 years plus, and you're like, well, I know I'm never leaving, so we might as well. But same thing for me. Yes, my family loves me. I love my family. But when you start seeing things differently, like the older you get, like when I moved to North Dakota to live, and I told people that was happening, something shifted with the paradigm at the time. And, military family, interracial couple, I'm practically like, he is my family, and then his family is my family. That's closest proximity to me. You know what I'm saying? So the same way she was saying, if something happens, I need to be able to voice an opinion. If something happens, God forbid something happens, because again, military family. Am I going to be okay after something happens? Or am I just, basically back to square one? Not that I would be like destitute or nothing like that, because I do have my own, but at the same time, I put all this work and energy into our lives. And then if something was to happen to our lives, if we didn't have that, that means nothing at that point.
And I be doggone if I be somebody's special friend on the obituary.
Girl, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. And I feel where you coming from too, sis, because we both in the community, girl. We both in the community.
Oh yeah.
It should be, people get married for a month and be done.
I heard
Exactly.
Erica
On
was
to the
the
next,
best friend on the
that's a lot
obituary.
of work.
Exactly. And I feel like that's
It's a
the
lot of
reason
work.
why I think we have those conversations. Me and my best friend, we have those conversations or whatever.
Is
Like,
this best friend a potential life partner?
Me and my best friend, you know, like we have those conversations, and it's
Keep
like,
having them because your mind could change tomorrow.
you know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
just like, you know,
If the person
we are connected. We are
Mhm.
connected, but in a sense, because of how you were, Jay, at one point, you weren't out there. You weren't out there in a sense. That's how it is with me and my best friend. Not out there, but this is, you know, what you want. But because of
This.
things
Right.
outside of your lifestyle, because of people are not going to agree with it,
forget them.
or and that's the thing. But you know, me as a person, I'm not going to pressure you into doing something that you're not comfortable with doing.
Don't
would you
ever
let-
do that. That shit will
So-
fuck. That shit will fuck your life.
I got a
I'm
question.
going to be here as your friend. I'm going to be here as your bae, your boo, whatever the case may be. I'm going to be here because of that reason, you know, and I'm going to, you know, hey, if this, and then if in the end, if this is not where you want to be, then I'm going to still be your friend.
This is my only thing. This is my only thing that I would say in regards to this type of situation. If you're moving into like, if you do decide that best friend is just going to be a best friend for life in a romantical situation, if you start deciding to acquire things together as a unit, excuse me, you need to figure out how you're going to handle that from a business standpoint. If you guys start buying property together, if you start business together, or if you start things together, you're going to need to look at it from a business. And some people think it's shitty to say that, but you need to look at it from a business standpoint, because if something happens and separates, then we need to already know, and we need to already have something in line that says, oh, we started this business together. Now this is this multi-million-dollar business. We never married. We split. Who doing what?
Absolutely.
Who getting what? But for your situation right now, keep it easy, keep it breezy, keep the conversation very much open. Because like I said, your mind could change tomorrow, but I'm happy that you guys are talking about it. Because trust me, I get it. Relationship number 2, when I first went into that situation, it was not I was there, they were not. Let's just put it that way. It was a growth type situation, and you don't want to push something on somebody, and then once they do that thing, now they've done that thing for you. So now they're going to hold you under obligation because they did something so really traumatic. That's traumatic. They did it for you. So now you have to take on their responsibility. So don't push nobody to that, because you don't want that on your shoulders, baby.
Most definitely. And that's something that I had to grow into, because, you know, y'all, everybody know me, like what the fuck? You know, you know, why aren't you, you pay all the bills, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do all of this shit by yourself. Why the fuck? You know, but I had to learn as I grew. And as I have been with this person, I had to fucking learn. And that is something that she has taught me in this whole situation is, look, you got to slow it down.
Your journey.
You can't rush me to do something that I'm not ready to do. And that's my whole thing about this situation, that, you know, we you know, hey, I mean, it's going steady. It's cool.
Just be there and enjoy it.
Absolutely. And that's what I've been doing.
When the time comes, it's gonna hit you, and you're gonna be like, God, dog, like, hold on. I said I wasn't even gonna do this, and look at me up here just doing exactly what I said I wasn't gonna do.
Absolutely. And then
the gag is for me, we had a conversation about it. Like, hey, I mean, I guess I'm going to be completely transparent. We had got the notice that we were going to be moving from North Dakota. here. So at that point in my head, I'm like, if I'm going to be putting myself in a position where I'm changing jobs, I'm traveling around the world with somebody for the betterment of their career, I need to be a part of the logistics.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm putting myself in a position where, oh, damn, we moved to a new spot, boom, break up, and then boom, I'm in a new spot, no people,
No, nothing.
no means. Granted, I would handle my shit because I do that. But still, I didn't want to be in a position like that to where something like that could happen to me. So it's kind of like, okay, let's have a conversation about this. How do you feel about this? Why I feel this? Why I feel this? Cool. Let's head to the place tomorrow and get the paperwork ready to go, because let's get the things ready, so when we get there, this is not a problem. Because I can't be moving there, like you said, E. I cannot be moving around the country with you, a friend of, because that don't mean shit to nobody.
And it's not even about the benefits. It's just like, dang, if it came down to it and something happened to you tomorrow,
shit.
it's
about the benefit. This is one thing Irene taught me.
about the benefits.
The benefits will get you a long goddamn way, because
the
benefits will get you a long goddamn way. When I
see it is with the paper or without the paper, we still gonna be together and just together anyway.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Regardless.
Me and my brother both had braces at the same time. My mama got whatever dental work she wanted done. All of this filed under my daddy's good ass insurance. And
the insurance company ain't finna goop me later on in life. You understand me?
But I think that goes with like when you start going into like careers and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
because, I mean,
it's different careers.
Our household's very different. We talking about a coach and teacher over here,
right?
Of the
But I mean, y'all, it's giving very American dream, girl. It's
we ain't doing an American dream.
It's giving very Black royalty over there in them streets. Teacher, coach. Raising these kids in a proper way. It's giving all of that for me. I wouldn't be mad if we ended up. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say I could see y'all on TV, but girl,
I pray for those kids every night.
Keep y'all business in y'all house.
I mean, it ain't, but that's the thing about it though. It's like, it does not have to be hard. Like, yeah, we have challenges. Yeah, we have disagreements.
You're a great mother on camera.
It comes down to it of how you're going to communicate. And is it at the end of the night? What you say?
At the end of the night, it comes down to what?
What did you say? I missed it.
Comes down to what?
Girl, he said you're a great mother on camera.
I don't ever be on camera.
Don't the Halloween photos be lit? The playing in the snow be so cute.
But I mean, like, you have to do all that stuff to change the narrative of like what you want to have. Because when it comes down to it, when he and I have our biological kids, I don't call them step kids like they my sons. At the end of the day.
A girl, please let it be a girl.
Ooh. But when it comes to it and we bring in our kids, like, I don't want them to feel like they missed out on something, like, oh, you doing more for this child than you did for us, or, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna feel like we ain't never missed a beat. Like, this is their sibling joining in on the family. Stuff still gonna be operating as it should. Like, I'm not
trying to put y'all on a pedestal or anything. I just feel like with the background with coaching and teaching and how y'all both view education and talking to your children, actually teaching your children something versus just, I mean, when I was growing up, I would have many opinions, many thoughts, many things that I felt like I needed to say. But those things were very silenced because what you weren't supposed to do was talk unless there were other children in the room for you to talk to. How unhealthy is it for damn near a single, not for to say single parent, only child, because my siblings are so significantly older than me. So there were no other children in the household to have these conversations with. So it's just kind of like, okay, can't talk to y'all about it. I'm always told to shut up. But then when I'm, 16, going through like a, junior high crisis, well, why didn't you tell me? Now I'm supposed to be able to tell you shit? Because for the last 16 years, girl, it was shut the fuck up. So what are we doing? So I'm glad that's what I mean by that. I'm like, I'm glad that y'all are in a position to change that narrative.
Even with him, I had to tell him, like, babe, okay, like, he was like, okay, I grew up that way. And it's a mental shift that you have to do, like, and you have to do it in that moment, and you have to constantly remind yourself, like, okay, let me get my words together. Let me figure out how I can say this. It don't happen overnight. And I mean, it helps because I'm a teacher, and like we're starting to put more social, emotional into the school. But I mean, I feel like it can change. Like, I don't necessarily agree that you have to whoop kids and all this kind of stuff to get your point across. Like, if you
and it can change. It most definitely can change, because I've dated someone with kids, and how the kids responded was by you cussing their ass out. And I feel like that's not a way to go in a sense, because those kids, they were cussing themselves and you were mad. You can't be mad at those kids because that's all they know. They know cuss words. They know that if I say, look, go over there, sit down there, they're going to still do what they want to do because it's not in a manner that they know. Now, if I say, go sit your ass down, or go sit your bitch ass down, then you're going to go sit your ass down. But I don't feel like that is a way to talk to a child. You should talk to a child in a way that they understand, to say that I respect you and we're going to respect each other.
Because that shit is impressionable. Because let me tell you something. I remember my 4th grade teacher. She was a Black woman, the only Black teacher out there at the time, besides my damn bus driver, and lived for her. Yes, because she was Black and there were no others. But one thing that sticks out in my mind the most is when my ass was in 4th grade and I sneezed too damn loud, and that hoe had the nerve to call the principal and had him paddle me in the damn hallway for sneezing too damn loud. I will never in my life forget that. Every time I think about that woman, that is my immediate memory. Yeah. It's like, girl, not punishment for an involuntary action.
Right.
It's like, do you want your kids to operate out of fear of you, or do you want them to operate out of
So then I started holding in my sneezes.
And I feel like
I still be holding in my sneezes, and people be like, you better stop holding in your sneezes. You're just going to give yourself a fucking aneurysm. Oh, girl, it's the trauma for me.
Question. Have you seen her after or later on in life?
That woman was damn near 106 when I was in 4th grade.
Okay, I was just gonna say, because I seen 2 of my teachers. One of them from St. Peter's. I'm gonna just go and call your name, Miss Matthews. I forgot your first name, but I remember when I was getting paddled because I didn't know some dumbass question you asked me, and I remember looking through the small window of the door, and I saw you smiling and giggling and shit. But I knew the only reason that you called a principal is because you had beef with my mama.
See,
it wasn't my fault that my mama came from the family that she came from, that she married the man that she married, that she had the kids that she had, worked her ass off to get to where she got. And so you just tried to use that shit to get back at me.
That's why Irene raised out the way she did.
I want you to remember the time that Irene had to come up there. Now that I'm talking about it, you was the same one who tried to hold my damn 64 pack of crayons, and Irene had to come up there and get out her car and tell you, let me see your receipt for buying these crayons, because if you can't produce a receipt, then you finna give me everything in here unless you give me my son crayons. So I don't want to remind you of that smooth ass pack. And if you still teaching, I want to let you know, beware, because there's more Irenes out there, and one of them one day is gonna get on your ass. I just want to let you know that smooth ass fact.
Amen. You know what? This is
we just hop right into the pit.
We just then hopped right on over. Matter of fact, I'm grateful for this conversation. I just want to thank everybody for sharing, because like I said at the top of the episode, we don't be doing this often. getting in each other's shit and each other's business. So I'm
Yeah.
happy that everybody felt that they could be open and honest, their current and their past situations. Sometimes it just feels good to talk to people about shit, even though we don't be giving names or whatnot. But
Y'all
we
know
can
I
put
be
together
wanting
the
to
pieces. So with
Oh,
that being said, we're gonna
hold on.
wrap that up. And
Hold
we're
on,
gonna
wait, because I wanted to wrap it up with a little Gladys Knight quote. Because Gladys Knight once said that there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. I'd rather be alone and happy than to be in a relationship and be lonely.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I'm going to my friend's house tonight. I'm gonna tell him that shit because that nigga is always begging for a hoe. And I'm like, why are you so desperate in the situation?
And in the end, give them my 3 points. Follow your first mind, because I've second guessed myself a lot. Then I would say love and respect yourself to the utmost, because it was a point in time I didn't love and respect myself to the utmost. And then, hey, it's kind of like a fucking menu at a restaurant. Don't be afraid to explore. Try something new. You never know.
You might like it.
You
like it.
Oh.
I just need y'all to check your friend zones. That's all. I just want you to check your friend zones.
Hey.
I really don't have a lot of people in the friend zone. Well, I don't have people in the friend zone.
Well,
have people on the back
because it's elevated to best friend now. That's how we started. We started out as friend, then it was best friend, and then it was best friend and maybe more, and then it was boyfriend. You know, it's elevating. You just don't see it yet. Just enjoy.
I'm just saying.
I'm just enjoying it. I really am. That when I say that is my best friend, she knows everything about me, just the same as y'all know about me as well.
It sounds like she's the one. That's all I'm saying.
She is best friend. Ashley no best friend. She is most definitely best friend. That is like
he's a sweetheart too, by the way.
Miss Phoenix, you got any final notes? You got any final things before we really jump off over here into the pits? You got any final
things I have to say is just hard lessons learned. Be patient. Be patient and learn how to let things go. You cannot hold things against your partner. Let it go.
Oh, amen.
Absolutely.
Amen.
That's right. Because I'm not one to hold a grudge, but I will dig up bones every now and then, and I will throw them at your ass. And that's a bottom line. So
it is what it is.
Phoenix is right.
Okay, hometown.
So again, thank you all for doing that. Like I know we don't be doing that shit, but that makes me happy that we did. But we're gonna jump right off of that and jump right into the pits. Just jump right on over into the pits so we can, do what we got to do and then get the hell out of here. Okay. A lot of talking tonight. So the pits. I'm piggybacking off what me and Q was talking about a minute ago with these fraudulent ass teachers.
Mm-hmm.
No disrespect to, teachers in education and whatnot. But when I was growing up, shit was real funky and different. And then looking at it through an adult light, that shit was mad creepy, mad like molestation vibes, like just mad creepy. Okay, like the story recently, I forgot where it was. I heard it earlier. I heard it before, but then I was listening to the read and I heard it there about the teacher that made the 5-year-old kindergartner. He clogged up the up the toilet, and she made him with his bare hands reach into the toilet and unclog it with his bare hands, pulling out shit and toilet paper. That's a whole nother thing. I'm not even gonna get on that. But back to like,
hold on. I just honestly want to know, where are the other staff members? Because when we have people that don't got their life together and you working with kids, we as a staff, and that's one thing I can say about the school. We gonna check you, we gonna call you out, or we gonna say you're wrong. Where are the other teachers? She must have been YT.
Was it? Where was that fucking school? Was it?
She was YT.
Was this about the 5-year-old?
Yes. I'm gonna have to fact check that and then come back. But I just want to get into that because when you get older, you be thinking that shit don't matter. That shit low-key be traumatizing. Like when Q was talking about getting paddlings, I'm just like, that sounds so weird to even say now, but you like paddling kids. And I remember the men that was paddling me had to have been 50 plus and just used to live for tearing my ass up.
Ooh,
and I'm just like,
the schools, baby, because Bennett.
What?
That
What was the
concept is kinda
reason?
awkward.
Like, what is this is so awkward and uncomfortable because now you pull in a witness, also a white male, maybe a white female. You bend me over a whole desk, honey, and then lay into me with a wooden what in the
That sound like
S&M,
slavery
what in
to
the
me.
BDSM,
Thank
what
you.
is really going on that you as a 50-year-old man is bending over a 10-year-old child, honey, spanking his ass with clear enjoyment on face? What is that? So
That's
I'm just
slavery.
saying, if you're in a position to
modern
where
day.
girl, that part, if you're in a position to where you're offering guidance, offering education, offering anything to youth and you yourself are an adult, please check yourself in the moment sometimes. Because I know shit be rough because kids
test
be
you.
a lot sometimes, but you are the one in the position, ma'am or sir. You are here. You could be anything else that you want it to be. You are here. So you can't go into the situation blaming the people that you are here to protect and educate, tutor, counsel. You cannot be going into the situation blaming them. If a situation becomes so tough for you that you just can't do it, I feel like you should remove yourself from that situation. Or you do something to somebody's child and then that parent put your ass 6 feet under.
Yes.
Because I know 2 times my daddy had to come to the motherfucking school. Only 2. My daddy did not play about having to leave his job and having to come to that goddamn school. So when he did, it was really a fucking problem. And both of those times involved a fight. Okay, why am I in the office getting rolled up, paddle, all this, threatening me with suspension? Because this motherfucker picking on me and I happen to mollywop this hoe into next week.
Ooh, sound like Dexter to me.
Okay. If he wouldn't have been starting the shit, where is on the report? Where's all the faggots? Where's all the niggers on the report? I'm not saying any of that. We jumping straight to the end where I mollywop this hoe in the cafeteria. What about all the extra?
Start from the beginning.
Can we not start from the beginning, please? And both times my daddy came up in there and looked at me right in his face in front of me and was like, he said a lot of things.
It only took one time.
And I didn't have those problems because it's just like, listen. And now as an adult, I can look back at it and see this. I was not a perfect child. I used to give them educators hell. Okay. For one, boarding class. They didn't want to move me to gifted because, you know, Black and things. It was just a lot of things. Bitch, that's not my fault. That's y'all fault. Okay. So you cannot be taking that shit out on me. So I'm just saying, in the pits, if you are working a fucking job and you do not like your job and you have the position to affect other people's lives, especially children, if you can't do it, remove yourself. Remove yourself. If you cannot do your fucking job, remove yourself from the job because somebody's parent is going to grave stomp your ass. That's it.
Absolutely.
You're right. You're right.
But it don't took one time for me though. One time.
Who is next?
What you got, Miss Phoenix? What's going on in the pits for you today? This week?
Oh, I ain't putting nobody in the pits today. I'm just listening.
Not an active listener.
She being active today.
She's active. Miss Q, what you got? Because I know Kane finna go in. Q, what you got?
All right, for my piss this week, to all of the men who was talking shit about women and their wigs and their extensions and lace fronts and all of that, how dare you talk shit about them when I see you come into the hospital and I know last week you had a very big growing spot, but now all of a sudden you have this, it's almost like a helmet that's made out of hair sitting on your head. Other people may not notice it, but I notice it. I know a man wig when I see a man wig. So how dare you?
Come on, Trump.
How? Oh, and let's side note. Thank you, Tim. Let me go back to him. How dare you have the same orange wig from 1984? How dare you? You trash bitch. You disgusting. Now, back to the men of modern day, the black men, the ones that I'm seeing getting these drag lace fronts, these fresh fade lace fronts. In the words of Officer Raynisha Nash, if the front part is in Africa but the back is in China, baby, those are two different continents. They don't meet. Those continents don't meet. Okay, so go get you some hair that blends. And this goes out to all the men with the men weaves. I'm talking to you.
And to piggyback off that, child, let's just go ahead and normalizing men doing the things they expect women to do to appease men. Let's go ahead and normalize it, honey. Y'all talking about a wig, worrying about her natural hair. What about your BBs?
Where's yours? Where's your? Because I saw your scalp.
What about your toe fungus? You don't want to pay to get her toes done. What about your toe fungus?
What's going on?
Let's normalize it. Men, you can take care of yourself and not be gay, brother. I was gonna call you sis, but I know how y'all be feeling about that. Brother, y'all men can take care of yourself and not be gay. That shit is okay. Y'all so weird for that. Y'all weird as fuck for that.
You don't want
to. Go get your goddamn feet done.
It's tired. And not, you know what? I'm gonna just end it on this. Not even talking about the man wigs anymore. I'm gonna end it on this. If you choose to sag your pants, I'm not saying sag your pants. It's wrong. I'm not saying that it's right.
It's
whatever.
wrong.
I really don't care. But if you choose to sag your pants, make sure you have taken a motherfucking bath, because if I can smell you, I'm going to talk about you out loud, and I'm letting you know that shit right here, right now. Your musty ass, you should not be out here sagging and showing your ass to everybody in the world, and you ain't taking no goddamn bath. I don't know who raised you, you dirty, young, some of y'all old and nasty, just dirty. Shit stains all in y'all damn drawers. I don't know who the fuck is washing these damn clothes.
And if it's Hanes boxers, you're trash. Get the fuck out. If you're a 35-year-old man, honey, and the boxers look like a 10-year-old supposed to be wearing them, nigga.
Break the damn cycle, because it's probably your mama who's still washing your old damn drawers. Because you probably got it from your daddy who got it from his granddaddy, but now it's time to break the goddamn cycle. I'm sick of it. You're going to sag your pants, that's fine, but wash your ass. I'm tired of smelling you.
If you're going to sag your pants, know what the meaning of sagging your goddamn pants means.
Right, if you're going to sag, honey, don't get mad at the boys for looking at your ass, because girl is out.
You decided to do it.
And that's
the way y'all be acting, honey. Y'all be oogling and fucking catcalling at girls, and a girl can walk by in a pair of damn the baggiest scrubs you ever seen, and y'all be catcalling, but y'all have the nerve to have these tight white ass boxers on with your ass out, and then be mad when some boy look at your ass. Nigga, I can see through your goddamn boxers, nigga. The fuck is you talking about? Your ass cheeks are sitting up on your back, nigga. What the fuck are you talking about? If you don't want us to see and you don't want us to look, bitch, maybe you should take that same note. Dress more conservative.
And the words of Trick Daddy to Young Thug, I don't know who the fuck your young ass is talking to, because you built up like my baby mama. Okay? So take your ass somewhere and sit down. Who got next?
Katie, what you got?
After that one, I don't think I got anything. I don't think I got anything. I mean, I was gonna get on Derrick Jackson's wife for defending him for his ways, but I'm not even gonna get on that.
It ain't her fault. It ain't her fault.
You using the Bible. You're using the Bible in a wrong way, ma'am.
But we know about that, Kim. We know about people using the Bible in the wrong way.
We know. Using the Bible in the wrong way.
The wife, I have to take a standpoint. I'm not against the wife for doing that just because she did stand by her husband. Not that I'm condoning that behavior. The only thing, I just feel like the world is kind of being too rough on her. I mean, her spiritual walk is her spiritual walk, and we can't judge that. So if
Most
God told her to
definitely.
stay with her husband, stay with your husband.
She did
Most
nothing.
definitely, but
This
she
is not her battle. She
But
did
my
nothing.
thing is, you're using the Bible to basically defend him in a way with his cheating ways.
But she was taught that. She was taught that.
But at the same time, if she was really taught that, the Bible also says that you can divorce your husband because he is cheating if you read into it. So it's just like
divorce a lot doing cheating.
But the gag is the way we view divorce. From my understanding, God does not recognize our divorces. Because from my understanding, when you read those words, honey, from death do us part, that's what God understands.
Absolutely.
Girl, this is another episode.
But you can most definitely.
Yeah, I would love to dive in that topic though. Yeah,
we need to.
We need to next episode, and we'll bring scripture.
Ekane, take them to the pits, girl. You've been doing it all day on Twitter. Take them to the pits, Ekane. Let's go.
I was my turn. I thought y'all was going.
You've been giving them hell on Twitter.
Next topic.
Listen. Oh, child, I don't even know where to start. I done had 3 things today.
From the beginning.
First things first. Please learn to read the room. If you do not know how to read the room, you are in the pits. If you don't know how to, I mean, even in the professional world, personal world, if you can read and you can feel the vibes that this says this is not the time and this is not the place, maybe it's not the time, maybe it's not the place, okay? If you ain't getting the response that you want and your feelings are hurt and you're feeling bothered, it's probably because you did not read the room. Okay?
And it's time for you to shut the fuck up and listen.
Or just go on about your business. You let it alone, as the old folks say. You know, and my point number 2, stay out of people's bank accounts, savings accounts, wallets, purses, pockets. Stop counting people's money. If they say they ain't got it and they don't want to do it, that means they ain't got it and they don't want to do it. They don't need you to tell you, well, didn't I just see you spending money here? Did you just do this? That don't matter. That's their money to do what they want to do with their money. Stay out of them pockets, out of their purses, stay out of their bank accounts, okay? That ain't your business. Mind the business that pay you, not the business that's paying them and what they doing with their money.
Hallelujah. Too many of y'all do that, honestly, truly. Honestly.
I'd love to say a good no.
Because y'all don't know what that man or woman had to do to
I can buy Gucci in front of you. If I buy Gucci in front of you and then you turn around and ask me for $2 and I say I ain't got it, bitch, I ain't got it.
I ain't got it. No.
I ain't got it.
Because you don't know what I did to get that Gucci.
And I don't have it for you. Maybe it's that I don't have it for you.
I could have had to twerk this ass for that Gucci. You don't know.
No matter what you had to do. No matter what you had to do. Shit.
My business.
You know, Kim, you could have let it spread it wide.
What's number 3, girl? There was a third one, girl. You had a third one, Ekane. There was a third one.
What was my third one? I don't know.
Well, you said 3, girl.
I don't even know.
Did she say 3 and stop at 2? The third one was I said what I said.
And it is what it is.
Period. That's that on that.
It's done.
Oh, hey, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Pits podcast. This was a beautiful, open, honest relationship. Oh, conversation on relationships. Because we're not doing this open relationships over here.
Oh no.
It's a no for me. So it's an open conversation about relationships. I really do.
We'll discuss later.
I feel like we need to talk about how relationships
camera kill
and marriage.
This is another episode for a whole nother.
Right.
We'll get into it.
Yeah.
And we need to talk about how these relationships and these marriages be changing these friendships because child. That's cut some people off, and I'm like, baby.
That's another one. That's another topic we need to write.
There's so many things we could talk about because
right.
There's just so many things. But final notes. Kane, you want to take us out, get the people to do what they need to do for us.
Keep liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, all of those great things. If y'all got some topics, keep interacting with us. We got some new things coming for you guys in this upcoming week. We're trying to get some things together, get some things going. If you got a Black business you want to promote, hit us up. We got you, okay?
Speaking of Black business, real quick, let me find. Okay, real quick. So I don't know if you guys saw earlier this week. I think it was actually Sunday. It was Sunday, actually.
Your Sunday photo shoot?
I did a photo shoot in the desert. For my homegirl, Jo. She has a shop. It's Joe's Shop. You can find her on Instagram. It's JEAUXSHOP. That's where I got the shirt from. The shirt is the self-love shirt. I decided to do the photo shoot on the Sunday because Sunday is now officially our self-care day. And I feel like that fit right in with our journey. So again, you can hit her up on JEAUXSHOP on Instagram. Honey, you can get you some earrings, you can get you some wall decor, you can get you the shirt. I personally have purchased her wall decor, everything. So I just wanted to shout her out real quick. And like she said, subscribe, like, comment, be interactive with us on all of our social media platforms, notification bells, do those things so you can stay up to date on what the fuck is going on. Anybody, y'all got any closing remarks before we get the fuck out of here? Because this has been quite the episode.
Life straight out the gate. The podcast with my mom is going to be late this week. It'll probably be out either between tomorrow and Friday. So just be looking for it. It's going to be a little late. Anybody else?
Got some healthy Black love on the move. I got one of my shirts on today,
I like that.
Still trying to figure it out, but be on the lookout for some things me and the hubby's gonna put together. It might be a little podcast coming on up. I'm trying to talk him into it so y'all can hear from him. But
come on, brother-in-law. Come on, brother-in-law.
Be on the lookout.
Anything from you, Miss Phoenix? Anything from you, KD?
No, I'm good over here. I'm good this way. Just enjoy life.
Book a trip with Katie the Grapes.
Oh yeah, make sure y'all Instagram roundtrip_travel, Facebook roundtrip_travel. If you're going somewhere, just make sure hit me up, and I got you. Oh yeah. If you want to be a travel agent, most definitely, I got you. Something like this, what I'm saying, it's gonna cost you like $200. Only costs $86 a night. Hey, if you want to be a travel agent, I got you. Hit me up.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think that's it. I feel like, and on that note, again, thank you guys for hanging out with us, chilling with us, listening to us. Again, drop in the comments. Let us know what you think about what we talked about. If you have any questions about what we talked about, please ask. We're an open book with each other. Maybe not you, so it depends on what you ask. But yeah, we can give you some insight, some enlight, things like that. But on that note, girl, let's get out of here. Bye, everybody. Bye.